You're listening to KZOM, Oleander Public Radio.
Welcome to Innsmouth, stranger.
Hi, I'm Rob Kwaidan from the Innsmouth Book Club. Join me and my fellow guide John Chadwick as we take you on a fortnightly tour of Innsmouth. We visit places such as the Picture House, the Library and Innsmouth Museum to discuss all aspects of weird fiction, whether it be book, film, music, TV or art. As well as that, we stop over at the Gilman House to have a chat with a resident guest. That includes authors, artists, musicians, in fact Lovecraftian creatives of all types. You can find our free shows on Patreon, and there you can also sign up as a patron, which brings you bonus content, plus a monthly PDF copy of Innsmouth News, which features articles, author spotlights, all the latest.
Use MRP 5KM D6 to get 10%. Welcome to the world of Conquest. Immerse yourself in the epic battles and strategic warfare with our two thrilling tabletop miniature games. Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, a rank-and-file wargame, and Conquest, First Blood, a skirmish game. What makes these games even more exciting is that you can use the same miniatures to play both. Conquest, First Blood, our gripping skirmish game. With First Blood, you can experience the intense, fast-paced battles on a smaller scale while still utilizing the same meticulously crafted miniatures from your collection. So whether you're a seasoned war strategist or a newcomer eager to embark on your first conquest, the world of Conquest offers you endless possibilities. Gather your forces, hone your tactics, and prepare yourself for the ultimate test of skill and strategy across both The Last Argument of Kings and First Blood. The battlefield awaits. Go to pgttcm.com or the show notes to find out more. Get 10% off all orders by entering code MRP5KMD6. That's MRP5KMD6. That's MRP5KMD6. Get 10% off all books, miniatures, and more. Or go to PGTTCM or the show notes to find out more. Hello, everyone. It is I, DB Spitzer, here once again to talk to you about the Cthulhu mythos and its attached parts, its multiple processes, and logistics required in which to keep it running for 100+ years. I don't know. To my virtual right, as always, Gretchen, the Brooks. And David, the farmer Heath.
Yes. Everything you need to raise and love your nightmares and horrors in convenient podcast form.
Oh, yeah. Found everywhere you find your podcasts.
Yes.
Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and pgttcm.com. And if you have questions or concerns or corrections for the show, go to pgttcm.com and leave a comment. Best way to get a hold of me. Otherwise, it's a game of telephone between me and whoever's doing stuff with whatever. So, just an example, there was a snafu in an edit of a podcast, and someone sent it to the Instagram. And it took a while for it to snake its way back to me. So, just let me know on pgttcm.com /contact, and we'll set you up. All right, how is everyone doing this week? Anything fun and exciting going on with you two, or do anything fun and exciting since we've last met?
I had a big viewing party with a bunch of judges for the Portland Horror Film Festival. So
cool.
Got some features out of the way, got a handful of shorts out of the way, and did a group rating so that way it spikes the numbers so we can see like what we're doing.
Oh, fun.
Let's see. other than that, just working on film festival stuff. Reading a bunch of books. I just got Andrew Fuller's new book, which is I haven't even had a chance to crack into it, but it looks really good.
Oh, nice.
Called like Constellations of Ruin.
Oh, that sounds like neat fun.
Yeah, which you guys all know, Andrew Fuller.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, how about you guys?
Would you call being caught in the middle of a proto-tornado, getting hailed on, and thunder and lightning in the middle of a goat pasture fun and or exciting?
I would. I
mean, it sounds like my childhood.
In fun and exciting activities.
Yeah, sounds like my childhood without the goats. I lived in Tornado Alley.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right.
And so we had like 50-mile-an-hour winds and hail and thunder and lightning for a little bit, but it never formulated into a full tornado. Which,
oh, that's good. That's good. Yep, experience.
Reminder, I live in frigging Northern Oregon. Okay, yeah. Other than that, it's beautiful today, though.
Oh, good. Yeah, we had a little bit of the hail, and I think we had 25 mile an hour winds in Southwest Washington. But yeah, no. I had my first event of the year, and I sold nothing.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll have another event soon, and maybe I'll sell something. But no. So this week we are talking about literally the granddaddy of them all, Azathoth. Depending on who you talk to, maybe the actual whole of existence as we know it is Azathoth. But we're going to get into that in a moment. And then we've got, I hope I'm saying this right, Kwaidan, or Kwaidan, a 1964 Japanese anthology horror film. I think one of the first horror anthologies we've had on here, but oh man, we should have some more. Now that we've done one, get VHS or Creepshow on here.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about this week. And let's get started on Azathoth. Gretchen, what do you know about Azathoth?
Damn it. Well, only thing I know just that he's a dream cycle god, as well as I see him in the Cthulhu mythos, but mainly I know him, the whole idea of him being the father of Nyarlathotep.
All right.
Right?
I mean, that's one way to interpret it. I mean, it's so vague. A lot of this stuff is vague, and some people derive stuff from the Dreamlands, and other people derive stuff from fungi from Yoggoth, and other people pull stuff out of the Whisperer in Darkness or Dreams in the Witch House, Thing on the Doorstep. He's brought up in Haunter of the Dark, which is the one with the multifaceted gem and the guy who's looking out into... Anyway, yes, there's a lot of Azathoth, and it might be more apropos to refer to everything as the Azathoth cycle, and that would make this podcast People's Guide to the Azathoth cycle.
I mean, the reason why I say Dream Quest, because isn't he in the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath?
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
I was like, wait, I've read that at least. I know that one.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, Azathoth is all over the place, probably spoken of more than any other thing in Lovecraftian science fiction, Lovecraftian horror, Lovecraftian fantasy. I mean, it crosses all of those. And yeah, anyway, Dave, what do you got to say?
So yes, and with what Gretchen says, she's absolutely right that Nyarlathotep is stated as being the child of Azathoth. Mm-hmm. But in a way, everything is. Yeah. And to borrow from a sort of a real world theology, is that Jesus is the Son of God, but so is the rest of the universe. But you're absolutely right that Nyarlathotep is considered an offspring of Azathoth. But he doesn't. He is. He is the most powerful entity in existence.
Yes.
He is the creator. Everything that is what we know of as time, space, matter, reality is a byproduct of his dreams.
Yeah.
And if he were to wake up, just like your dream universe disappears when you wake up in the real universe, everything would cease to exist. That's why there's all these gods circling around this big, giant black hole that is Azathoth, playing music to keep him asleep. Because if he wakes up, reality completely changes into a different reality that we could not comprehend.
Yeah.
As such, you're right, he appears in almost everything, but he's never a main character, because in the same way that the sun is seldom a main character.
Yeah. Or in most biblical things, you don't just hear stories about like God in his day. You hear about God interacting, or anyhow, you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find the words, but yes, the words are that I'm trying to find is like God. You don't just hear stuff about God doing God's own thing and hanging out doing God stuff. It's always God interacting with other creatures, other things. I mean, Greek mythology, I'm sure you hear stuff. I mean, you do hear stuff about like, oh yeah, this is why, things are like this because this God was doing this and that's what happens. But I don't know. I feel like Christianity has less more like, and that's why it rains kind of stuff. Anyhow.
And we do have an unreliable narrator. The person that kind of tells us the most about him is Nyarlathotep.
Yeah.
And, what he's in the form of the black man says, he will take you to the throne of Azathoth. But you don't know, is he just making this stuff up? You don't know. But yeah, it's the best interpretation or I think I've ever seen of Azathoth, it wasn't meant to be, is the sun in Danny Boyle's movie Sunshine. Where it warps reality, it creates reality. As the spaceship gets closer, time and everything distorts.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I see Azathoth.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now on. Seriously. I think that's brilliant because honestly, like, you can't interpret God, so why not? You can't interpret the sun and how the sun would be being that close to it.
Yeah.
That's quite poetic and perfect.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I thought this is the most brilliant thing that Lovecraft ever thought of. The dude cribbed it.
Yeah? Yeah.
The dude cribbed it. He got this idea of a god that reality is asleep, and if he wakes up, half the universe disappears. He stole that from Dunsany.
Yeah, it's a Dunsany, but yeah. Robert M. Price suspects that he probably got the name from Azel or Azazel. And what's the other one? Biblical names, Anathoth or something like that. I'm bad with biblical names.
Well, I think it's a line from Valvik, which is a Gothic novel about a ghoul who is the leader of who's like a sultan.
Okay.
And obviously, Lovecraft loved that story.
That makes a lot more sense, yeah.
That is like the sort of early, that age Gothic story. That and the Arabian Nights are what influenced Lovecraft's version of the ghoul. So I have no problem that he would have, or doubt that he would have taken that. But and obviously too, I mean, Thoth, the Egyptian god Thoth, you know, there's some spelling connections there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so if he has one rational thought, the universe changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why he's called. It's not that he's an idiot. He's just, we can't understand his thoughts. His thoughts are so way above us, they might as well not exist.
Yeah. He's also known as the blind idiot god, lord of all things. He sits in the center of creation with his servitors dancing around him madly, and one of them plays a flute.
And you know who else I think, kind of, and though I don't think I think Einstein influenced this.
Yeah.
Because right about this time, we're getting this idea. Einstein's thinking about black holes. Mm-hmm. He's thinking about reality, and there's this very attempt by Lovecraft to be. I can't be a real astronomer because I can't do math. Let me write space sounding like things in my gods.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's funny that people even write about Azathoth in Lovecraft's fiction, like Thing on the Doorstep. What's his face? You know, what's his face? Edward Pickman.
Edward Derby, yeah.
Yeah, he writes about Azathoth, and the book is called Azathoth and Other Horrors. It's just like, whoa, that's just like straight up talking about it. It's like rarely is there anyone who's talking about stuff in the Cthulhu mythos that like mention it or be like, oh yeah, that's something that I heard about from the Necronomicon. But it sounds like Derby, you know, was a little bit more bold when it came to this stuff.
Speaking of bold, August Derleth. Mm-hmm. He, and again, this could be Derleth sort of backtracking and saying, well, it's not me, it's the character. But he kind of went in this sort of war against, when Derleth rewrote the mythos as this good versus evil, the elder gods versus, you know, the great old ones. And it's kind of hinted in some of them that Azathoth takes the place of the Supreme Being. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to have a good versus evil story, you've got to have a creator. And like a throw-out line, I think it's in The Lurker and the Threshold, he kind of says that Azathoth sort of inspires and instructs the elder gods. But again, that's Derleth. Maybe the less said, the better.
Yeah. No, his idea of the I don't know, Azathothian pantheon sounds a bit more like the Legion of Doom. I don't know. Anyway, let's see, what other kind of stuff has Azathoth appeared in besides Lovecraft? Doctor Who. Apparently, Azathoth is presented as an avatar of one of the great old ones. An amorphous blight of nethermost confusion that blasphemes and bubbles at the center of infinity, coexistent with all time and conterminous. Oh, I can't say that word. Conterminous with all space. Omnipotent and yeah, okay, done. But yeah, no, I haven't seen that specific Doctor Who episode, but...
And it might be actually from one of the books, I think. Okay. But there is this, like, theoretical polygon shape that's the Azathoth. So it's like a theoretical, weird, dimensional shape that is way above me.
Oh, Ramsey Campbell wrote about Azathoth. The Shagai worship Azathoth, and
Yes.
if you guys don't remember who the Shagai are, listeners, they are the pigeon-sized insects that can phase inside of your head and control you. They live in Goatswood. They worship Azathoth, and they fly around the universe in green pyramid ships or gold pyramid ships. I can't remember. Metallic pyramid ships.
Yes.
That are also temples to Azathoth and powered by Azathoth. So,
and we don't know if this is... I mean, this is Lovecraft saying it. But this idea that music is what sort of keeps Azathoth asleep is he wrote in a letter it was inspired by one of his neighbors playing a form of bagpipes.
Yeah.
And that we would make him fall asleep. I could never fall asleep to bagpipes, but if it is, that's one of the coolest things about Lovecraft. You know, he had a neighbor who played soft bagpipes that made him go to sleep, and he decided he was going to, make the center of the universe based on that. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it also has kind of a little bit of a feeling of the music of Erickson in it. I don't know, having the neighbor that plays the music that...
and we do know from the letters and that he used the word, he described it as bagpipes, but there's a lot more than the Scottish bagpipes. This was actually a Syrian neighbor of his. Yeah. And which apparently for Lovecraft is rather complimentary, but that's where it sort of gives us a sort of other world sort of Middle Eastern feel to Azathoth and the Outer Gods.
Yeah. One of the cool things from the Commonplace book that I like is, I think it's number 61, which is a terrible pilgrimage to seek the knighted throne of the far demon Sultan Azathoth.
That is. And for, just if the audience isn't sure what the Commonplace book is or familiar, it was a notebook that Lovecraft would write story ideas in, many of which he did not actually get a chance to write himself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. And if you ever get a chance, it's really fun. I believe we'll probably talk about the Commonplace book at some point in time, hopefully sooner than later.
And Word Horde, I don't know if they still do. They used to make a deck of cards, I believe, that has all the prompts that you can sort of pull and write on.
Yeah. Anything else that we can really talk about with Azathoth gang?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's kind of he's the gravity of the Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I believe that's it for that. The show notes, or go to pgttcm.com for more information. And also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all the other places where podcast stuff exists. All right, back to the show.
In Legacy Door, a lurker from space casts a shadow over time.
We opened our eyes upon the human world. We found ourselves lying on an especially yielding bed in a room displaying scattered relics of their shallow past, tied together by more recently produced items meant to blend with the relics. Typical.
A sensitive journalist dreams of unknown lives.
It seems like every time I close my eyes, they get stronger. I can't even say the last time I had a normal sleep, let alone a dreamless one.
An outspoken lawyer defends the suspect in an unspeakable crime.
And that client was Jonathan Strauss, held for the murder of his daughter Abigail and her companion Harrison Reese.
And a stalwart investigator tries to drag it all into the light.
Any Cuba Cobra S combo. Compared to the mainstream 3D printer on the market, Anycubic S1 is faster. The speed has improved 12 times. The Benchy can be completed in 15 minutes. That's 600 millimeters a second. fully enclosed construction using the Cobra OS system and cooling system minimizes vibrations and enhances the responsiveness to improve the quality of printing. Anycubic Cobra S features a full metal hot end capable of reaching a peak temperature of 320 degrees. Quiet mode is as low as 44 decibels while printing. 44 decibels, that's as loud as the library or bird calls or a forced air furnace. Equipped with built-in camera to view the printing process. Finally, use my link to save $120. Get the combo and be able to print in 4 to 8 colors. Fast and easy to use. If you have a hobby or a business, you'll find hundreds of uses for your Anycubic printer. Use the show notes to find out anything you want. Get anything you want from Anycubic. Thank you, and back to the show. Hey, what have you guys been watching anything or reading anything fun as of late?
Well, earlier I said I'm watching films for the film festival, and I just got that book from Andrew Fuller, but it's mainly just been like reading. I'm actually reading a couple books at the same time, to be honest. I'm reading The Last Action Heroes. It's a book about like Hollywood action movies and the tribulations or whatever of them. I'm also reading this thing I'm for another show that I do about the movie Danger Diabolic.
Oh. Very cool.
So a couple years ago, I found a Diabolic comic book. They're like a small in a local thrift store in Italian.
I'm very jealous.
Now, are we talking Diabolic, the guy that has you can only see his eyes and he wears a black jumpsuit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Who has the coolest girlfriend ever?
Right.
Aunt.
The smoking hottest girlfriend ever. But yeah, I'm completely absorbed in Danger Diabolic.
Yeah, right. Danger. I personally love I don't know anti-heroes like that, Danger Diabolic,
Who doesn't?
Golden Bat. It's cool stuff like that.
And the Italians do that right. The Italians do anti-heroes.
Lupin the Third. I mean, I love guys that are yeah, that's me, haha. But I don't know how to describe it. But
so I've never seen an episode, but in the 80s, they made a kids' cartoon based on Diabolic.
It's terrible. I watched it.
That totally sounds awful, yet it's terrible. I want to see it.
It's Saban. So, it's real bad.
Oh, no. Yeah, that company should be called Sabad.
I finished. I'm beginning to worry about the black box of Doom.
Oh, how'd you like it?
I liked it. It gets to a point where he kind of he says a lot of things about his influence or what he feels the internet influence on bad, but it's a good, fun story. It's difficult, all of his stuff, to read sometimes because he lays it just out that, the bad things that people say and do sometimes. But it was good. I liked it. It's up there with, I think, John Dice at the end.
Cool. Very cool. I myself have not been watching much of anything that I haven't talked about before. I got a new phone and I've been playing with my GarageBand on it, the GarageBand app on it, and linking it up to other GarageBand and getting stuff, being able to process faster that way, which is really nice because my phone is so much faster than my laptop. So,
good.
Yeah. And I trying to remember if I've been watching anything, and I feel like I've been watching a ton of stuff, but it's all been just history. History. I for some reason have ended up watching a lot of
World War II dogfight documentaries.
Huh. Weird, Dave, because I have too. I wonder if there's something going on where YouTube's trying to get us all ready for... Anyways, never mind. I'm not going to be that person. Conspiracy theories. Anyway, yeah, no. Like, YouTube has been suggesting a lot of, like, training videos on, like, hooking... Like, how you hook up into the sphere of a... B-17, and it's like, okay, I'll watch this. And like illustrated, like animated videos on hygiene and stuff like that from the 40s for soldiers and stuff like that are animated by Warner Brothers and like voiced by Mel Blanc and stuff like that. And yeah, anyway, I get into a habit where I sometimes watch that. Yeah, this is examples of the dumb stuff that I end up cutting out at the end. But anyway,
but something that is cool is the movie that we are discussing today.
Yeah, the next movie that we'll be discussing will be Repo Man. And the topic will be a little place outside of Arkham, Massachusetts, colloquially known as Blasted Heath.
Yes, which is my nickname, but I was thinking more about the movie, and I'm going to mispronounce it, so Gretchen, please correct me. It's Kwaidan or Kwaidan?
Yeah, the movie's called Kwaidan, but it's... Yeah, I'll go into it.
I can't pronounce English.
I struggle myself. Yeah, I mean, this film came out in 1964. It was kind of a, not really like a phenom per se. It did really well at Cannes Film Festival, like in 1965. It was kind of flagged for like the special jury prize, and then it also received like after that it kind of picked up a little momentum, and then received like at least a nomination for best foreign film at one of the academies at that point. But honestly, it's based on the Japanese term Kwaidan. Kwaidan is like a transliteration of the word. Okay. But it means ghost story. There was this really famous collection of ghost stories done by a monk from Italy. Or was he a monk? Anyways, what's that?
Would you mind if I kind of break in here? Because that's the part I know.
Oh, Lafocardio?
Yeah, Lucario Hardin. He is a Greek-Irish. He was a journalist / writer who basically traveled the world and ended up in Japan. And
that's right. He's from Orleans Parish, right?
Yes, exactly. And exactly. In fact, I believe his house is a tourist site. Where he lived is a tourist site in New Orleans.
I don't remember. I lived there.
Yeah, no. So I know more about him than I knew about the stories.
Oh, right on. So yes. Do you know what else he's written?
So the big things, he was a journalist.
Right.
He is also huge into bugs. And so the actual book, Kwaidan, it's half bugs and half folklore and ghost stories.
Oh, wow.
So he did quite a few, yeah. But he ends up in Japan. He becomes a Japanese citizen, which I've got to imagine was hard for a European in the 1800s, or it was definitely, I think, rare. And yeah, so he was predominantly a journalist. And his dad fought in the English in the Crimean War, and just freaked out and left him when he was like 7. So you're going to see a lot of his stories, and a lot of stories he really likes and writes about, themes of abandonment.
Oh, that's a spades in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, the first story being the black hair is basically the story about a samurai who was married, or he's kind of like a defunct samurai. He's not Ronin or anything like that, but it's just they're really poor, and he leaves his wife for a richer woman, like a not royalty, but like in the like a shogunate like daughter type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did you guys think of that story?
I really, really enjoyed it. I feel like this story has been aspects of it have been like aspects of its imagery have been used in other things for sure. And it's just like there's stuff that I see in this that's like, oh man, that reminds me of The Ring and that one. Oh yeah, okay. And I've also
definitely
like,
the way the hair haunts.
If there's horror movies that I've seen involving like black hair and it's just like there's like I feel like this is really kind of like an influence to a lot of things that I can't really quite name off the top of my head.
Absolutely. So there's the idea of like black hair in Japanese. I mean, I could literally like just have a whole episode about the black hair, but
okay,
hair in Japanese is the same word as God, so it's kami, right? And
okay.
There is so much tied into, especially women's hair, as in that era specifically, because this is like, I mean, we're talking like this was written in like the 1900s. So this was still kind of like that, like everything was pretty feudal still. And like, there was, quite the way this story was interpreted, at least. But yeah, this is, he treats his wife, he gets a new wife. She's terrible. And then he regrets his old wife. Yeah. And then tries to go back to the house and finds it in shambles and finds her there. And then finds out more than that as she gets her revenge.
Yeah. It's a good story. It's a fun story. One thing I wanted to say about this story and the rest of the other stories, two things. Beautiful, just beautiful. The outfits, the costuming, the sets, everything's just so beautiful. And it's done in a very formal style of Japanese, and everything's kind of short and sweet and easy to understand. With my limited Japanese, I was able to follow along pretty well and go, oh yeah, that's how you say this. And oh yeah, that's the formal ending for isn't. And, just stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get this. This is cool. And, I personally want to say if, like, you're learning Japanese or if you've studied Japanese, this is a really good film for that. Just wanted to say.
And I think, if these are sort of the Japanese version of an Aesop, I think the lesson here is everybody's in love with the ghost of their past relationships.
Or not to not like covet things that are beyond your reach. And it's like a morality tale of that, of having respect and treating the things that you have in the now well.
Yep.
And instead of like abandoning them. Japanese culture has a lot of takes a lot of issue with treating things badly or being wasteful or slothful, and like this is reflected in this story. Our next story, The Woman of the Snow, is personally my favorite. I don't know. I would say I love the first two stories, maybe because they're women. I don't know. But like Women of the Snow, the Yuki Onna is also like up there with my favorite stories about about yokai. Mm-hmm. I think that this is also, to me, one of the most beautifully designed of all the sets in this, because those matte paintings of like eyeballs that are staring through snow, the like haunting score, the way that everybody looks, the lighting, the the way they're cast in the in ice and like snowy kind of appearance. It's just like you were saying earlier, it is incredibly beautiful.
Yeah.
Also, as a kaiju nerd, there's like tons of kaiju film people in these, as well as directors and assistants and things like that. People make appearances throughout this. This is pretty star-studded for Japanese cast in this era. A lot of these people are in like other movies, and especially samurai period films.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say this one, and the last. I mean, I could really see a lot of these being like localized into English for like something like Tales from the Crypt or Twilight Zone or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
The gargoyle episode in Tales from the Crypt.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
That was the one that has Ray Dong Chung in it, and is that her name? And
the famous guy.
Okay.
But yeah, she's a gargoyle. He gets saved by a gargoyle, and then he meets this really hot girl, and the gargoyle, before the gargoyle leaves, says, "Don't tell anybody about me, and you have to keep your promise, or else I'll come and kill you." And that's exactly what happens in this story as well.
Okay.
She saves him, and she says, and he's like, "Oh, you're a Yuki-onna," and she's like, "Don't tell anyone, I will kill you."
Yeah,
and then he meets this really beautiful woman and falls in love and has children. And then one night, he tells her this tale of what happened to him, and she gets this faraway look, and the light changes and shifts, and she has this kind of blue wash over her, and we realize, the Yuki-onna. And she doesn't kill him because she loves him. But she basically says, if you don't take care of our kids, I will come kill you.
Yeah.
And I love the stars that are eyes.
Yes. Yeah, it's just lovely. Like this film for me was one of those, when I first started learning about Japanese culture and like learning the language and whatnot. This spoke volumes to me. I love good ghost stories, you know, and I love a good morality tale ghost story. Those are always fun. I mean, every year for my birthday, I always ask people, tell me your ghost story, because I mean, everybody has one in one way or another.
Sure.
Also, the other ghosts in this, Hoichi the Earless, right? So this is the from the Tale of Heike or something like that.
Yeah.
This is the. I mean, you guys want to take point on this one? It's Hoichi the Earless. He gets painted. Go ahead.
Okay. First off, not necessarily about the story.
Yeah.
Well, okay, about the story. So, Hoichi the Earless, he is known for telling this story, the Battle of Danuora, which is from the Tale of Heike.
Yeah.
Which is a real event, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And it happened in, like, I want to say the 12th century Japan. And this is a story that has been passed. It's an oral tradition that's passed on through monks and song. And that's what this story is about one of the monks who passes this on through song. And it's like this, there's aspects of this that I'm like, I wonder if they saw this when they were making, whoever saw Conan saw this.
Totally.
I can almost guarantee yes.
Well, I mean, think about it, because there's this like beautiful setting, and then you have where he is playing the biwa and like telling the tale kind of in that there, I don't know I can't remember the terminology for it, but it's like it's a type of way of telling the story, kind of like kabuki is a way of telling a story, kind of like with the puppets, that's a story, but this is also that kind of version of that. Like oftentimes I've heard geishas do this too. I one time went to an event where a geisha was telling a ghost story, and she kind of told it in this way and kind of sing-song it. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, no, it's a fun story. And at one point in time, I thought, we were getting to the end, and that the fact that he's singing to ghosts and stuff was going to be the plot twist, and then it's like, no, it's about a blind monk who plays this beautiful story, and gets taken to a mysterious ancient court by a samurai, and then everyone at the temple realizes that he's missing. And when he gets back, the priests are like, "Where are you at?" And he's like, "I'm not going to tell you." There's more to it. He leaves during a storm, sorry, I'm bad at retelling this. And that's just like, then he gets, I don't know, can someone else finish this off for me?
Yeah, no worries. So the monks get really, because they kind of find out that Hoichi's been telling the story to a bunch of ghosts, essentially, and then basically they're worried that he's going to get killed, or they're really concerned for his safety, and so they paint like his entire body with the text of the Heart Sutra everywhere, including his face, to make him invisible to the ghosts, and so the idea that they couldn't see him. But unfortunately, they did not get his ears.
Yeah.
And so the samurai was instructed to bring back Hoichi as much as possible, and basically end up ripping his ears off to show he had obeyed his commands.
And that visual of him with all this kanji over it, I saw that before I saw the movie.
Yeah.
It's striking. What is he, evil? What is he?
Yeah.
And that's just an amazing visual.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I agree with you. This is, I mean, I have a one sheet poster of this movie because, again, like I said, this is beloved for me. This really was my falling in love with Japanese culture, but I didn't really understand it very much at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I only had like this small thing to kind of my foray. This and anime, I think, was like my beginning foray into Japanese stuff.
Cool.
My understanding too is that they did not have a studio big enough to film this with all the boats, and it was an old Japanese Imperial Air Force hangar that they had to take over and convert.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's also a Toho production, so it's always bombastic.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why you have those crossover actors too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that it breaks into a play, almost.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you see it, and there's the lighting, and the characters are often like what you would see, not in a movie, in a play.
Yeah.
And you get the feeling, and I would honestly, I hope that it's a long movie, which is great. But
3 hours.
Yeah.
I would love Hollywood or some theater to do it. So I would love to see it on a full screen.
Oh yeah, I think they've done it in the past. But yeah, I mean that would be really cool to see I would love to see this on the big screen. Because honestly, those three are the three that really stand out in the 4 films. The last one for me is kind of like I'm a little disappointed that this is the last one. This almost should be like either a first or second, because it is not as well. I mean, there is all right. It's called In a Cup of Tea, right? This is the Chawa no Naka no Naka.
Yeah.
This one is from like 1902, right? From his stuff.
Okay.
Being Japanese curios and sundry cobwebs. Basically, this one is about a writer attendant, and he is doing there's a tradition going to New Year's Day doing visits, and basically he stops at a tea house, and then basically while everybody's chilling out there and whatnot, he sees a man in a cup.
Yeah.
A face in a cup, like a ghostly visage in a cup. And so he drinks the cup and he's just like, whatever. And he's like, this is weird. That's weird. Drink. I mean, and then basically when he's goes back to his guarding duties, he sees the man in the tea reappear. Right? And then he goes to tell everybody about it, and he's like, "Oh my God, there's this." There, he's showing. I saw a man in a teacup, and they're laughing at him, making fun of him, and then I think it was what is it? He ends up getting into a duel with the guy, with the ghost, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay, but. Basically, it's what the ending of this is, and I mean, this movie came out in 1964, but it has this scene where we see him trapped inside of a jar of water.
Yeah.
And that was just horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things about this film is, I want to say it came out. Did it come out in the summer? No, it came out in February. Weirdly enough, around this time in February. Yeah, I don't know. That was a coincidence. But no, to me, this one is the least interesting of them. What what do you guys think?
It's the most Twilight Zone-ish.
Yeah, with them showing up because it has a kind of that silly. To me, it's not as serious because of the way that they shoot him showing up in the teacup, because it looks easily it could be a reflection behind you.
Yeah.
But it's not clearly, but it's just silly in that respect.
Yeah, I got the kind of the impression that it was the final one, because creatives tend to put things that have other creatives in the beginning or the back of anthologies, if that makes any sense.
Oh, because this guy's a publisher?
Yeah. And I didn't get it, but I don't know enough of the details, but I got the impression there was some, not autobiographical, but some sort of connection about finishing work and stuff like that. But
yeah, you're right, because basically this is the publisher's, this is a narrator perspective.
Yeah.
But again, that's why I feel this one for me is doesn't hit as hard story wise, because it is a little as I'm trying to describe it, is kind of vague.
Yeah. But yeah, as horror anthologies go, as ghost story anthologies go, this is amazing. I think this is one that others should be judged by. At least Japanese ghost stories. I don't know. I say, hey, compare your modern Japanese horror to this, and
Well, you can definitely see that they get influences. I mean,
oh yeah.
I don't think this for its time was kind of scary. I guess super considered kind of scary. But it's also, did you know that it's supposed to, each episode represents a season?
Oh,
no,
I can see that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, and then because you think about the court scene, right, with Hoichi, there's that, has that kind of summary, what happens in Japan. They end up telling ghost stories. There's that game 100 ghost stories where you light a candle and everybody tells a ghost story until that is always meant to, the idea of telling ghost stories in the summer is meant to give a chill, and I guess kind of beat it back the heat a little bit is the idea. But yeah, I mean, this is one of my, it's it's pretty fucking beautiful. It's stunning. It's haunting.
And my understanding, this is Kobayashi's first color film.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's amazing understanding because it's different to look and appreciate color and be able to present it in a movie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I am so glad he's not doing it today because everything would be CGI.
Yeah.
The whole idea
It's a
of
shame.
CGI, the whole idea of CGI is to try to make it look realistic when it's, even if it's not. And so, just a personal story. We would go to a art museum, and I would look at things like Picasso
Mm-hmm.
or Van Gogh. And as a 10-year-old kid, and they weren't obviously, well, they were Picassos, but they weren't like Van Goghs. But as a 10-year-old kid, I don't like it because it's not realistic. And my mom would try over and over and say, no, David, you're not seeing the picture. You can go there and look at a pond yourself. This is the feelings of a pond. This is the spirituality of the pond. And I had to have been 30 years old before the light came on and I finally understood what my mom was talking about. This is not the realistic. The stars have eyes. There's stage. It's the spiritual side. It is the feelings. Mm-hmm. And I am so glad. Thank you. Like I said, I've heard of this movie. I knew who Haran was. So thank you. I love this movie. It's not.
I'm so glad you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, it's not a movie physically. I mean, it's not realistic. It's spiritual. It's emotional, and they don't make movies like that anymore. Unfortunately,
I hate when I say that because I feel like I'm like such a boomer at times when I say things like that. But man alive, they don't make movies like this anymore.
And I'm not sure they ever really did outside of a few.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I want to say about, like, they don't make movies like this anymore, is generally when that's said, I mean, when I say that, it generally ends up being like, they made a couple movies like this. It's not easy to make a movie like this, and it would be cost prohibitive to make it today unless you used a huge amount of CGI. But yeah. No, I'd seen
the most expensive movie in Japan at the time.
Oh wow!
Is what I came across.
Cool. But yeah, no. I've seen bits and pieces of this in the past, like I think it was like it was a local at night music program called Bohemia After Dark that was in the Seattle and Portland market that had a section called Dadaism or Dada Vision, where they would show stuff from foreign movies, like without any without any greater understanding to it, and they would show bits of this and Tetsuo the Iron Man and other stuff, and Throne of Blood.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, without context. Yeah, they would show Japanese films without context, like little bits and pieces, and also bits and pieces of other art films, but that would be between like music videos of local bands throughout the West Coast and such. So anyway, yeah, I saw bits of this on Bohemia After Dark back in the day, early 90s. And I always wondered what it was from, what some of these were from. And at one point in time, I was told that something that I was talking about, I was like, oh yeah, there's this thing that I saw. And they're like, oh, that's from this Japanese movie about ghost stories. I'm like, oh, cool. Because I was talking about in Black Hair when he goes back to see his first wife's house, how it's all, it's like, an ancient or traditional Japanese style house that's in ruin. And that's like, the visualizations of that I've seen over and over again in different horror video games. And there's like, I don't know, like how ghosts are portrayed in this. I feel like I've seen in a ton of stuff, but I think that also has to do with just Japanese culture being portrayed in this visually, and how they did just an amazing job of portraying spiritual things, like even the little balls on fire and fun stuff like that in this film.
Absolutely, I agree. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's, and I'm going to make a suggestion to our audience. Great movie, but the modern post-MTV generation, you may want to break it up into different sittings. Yeah. Maybe watch half the movie, but if you're in it, want to power through, great. But if the type of person like the brain wanders and is so used to Michael Bay, you're not going to lose much, I think, by watching it in 2, 3, even 4 settings.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, breaking it up into 2. I mean, each one you could watch individually and like reflect on it so that you don't, mix stuff up in your brain. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this. I didn't mind sitting for 3 hours to watch it all. Although I do admit, between Hyochi the Earless and in a cup of tea, I went and worked on dinner a little bit, but then came back.
Yeah, like I said earlier, and a cup of tea is not as bombastic. It feels like, because even though we're doing like seasons and stuff like that, that's the only bummer about it, is that it has that. It feels like it's just not as, to me, it's the story for me personally. I'm not like, this is like saying like the second place in the Super Bowl, like, because this is a great film, obviously, and the great short, but like of the other 3, this one doesn't hit as hard as the other ones do for me.
Yeah, and by that I'm sure you mean a Super Bowl where the other team actually scores a point.
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
In the past, there's been Super Bowls where the other team hasn't scored a point, and people are like, "This is the worst Super Bowl in history." Anyway,
they still worked hard to get there to second place.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, no, we've all seen horror anthologies where there's one that's a little bit weaker than the others, but it's not a cup of weak tea. It's just, just not the top.
Yeah.
So, is there one that you do think is the best?
The Snow Woman.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one myself. I mean, my personal favorite is just Hoichi the Earless, just because I loved the visualizations of the tale of Heike.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the best. The one I enjoyed the most would be Hoichi the Earless, because it made me feel like I was in this, watching a stage play, and surrounded, and so and your mileage may vary, but that's the one. All of them I thought were good. I thought all of them were well done. That's the one I personally had the most fun with.
Yeah. They were all really good. I really enjoyed them all. But yeah.
So until next week.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, we're going to be talking about Blasted Heath and Repo Man. So yeah, if you want to join us next week, we can all talk about it. And thank you so much for listening to People's Guide to the Cthulhu Mythos. As I said before, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course pgttcm.com. And subscribe to us wherever you hear podcasts. And you can find us, our RSS feed comes straight out of pgttcm.com/podbean.com. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was a good episode.